It's time for a bathroom movie review. There's a film that came out this year that is breaking records, and one that not many people outside of China have heard of. This film ranks number 5 for all-time box office earnings in history. That's pretty crazy, folks. It's only behind Avatar, Avengers Endgame, Titanic, one other film. So anyways, huge. And that film is ZHA 2. I had not even heard of this film. I think I saw a few posters online maybe, but I really didn't even consider seeing it until my buddy told me it was a great film. And when I looked it up and saw how huge it really was, I knew I had to see it. This is a Chinese film, and it's the sequel to ZHA 1. It follows the little demon god, ZHA, and his friend Ao Bing, who's also a demigod demon thing, as they must team up to protect ZHA's city while also sharing a body and defeat some powerful enemies. The first thing I wanted to know is, why was this film so successful? $2.2 billion in China is huge. Just to explain a little bit, the biggest animated movie before this was ZHA 1 with $700 million. So ZHA 2 more than tripled this number, becoming not only the biggest animated movie in the world, but the biggest movie ever in China. So after my research, there are 4 factors that led to ZHA's success. Numero uno, it came out around Chinese New Year, which is a huge celebration in China, and I guess a celebration where a lot of people like to go to the movies. Number 2, the power of word of mouth. Never underestimate this power because it spread like wildfire in China. Number 3 was just the hype after the first film. People loved the first film and were excited to see more of ZHA and his friends. And number 4, pride over Chinese animated blockbusters. Most movies have come out of Hollywood. Disney, Sony Animations had some bangers, DreamWorks, Illumination. But all of you better watch out because China's stepping up. And this makes me so happy because competition breeds greater success and quality. So let's go. To any of you who haven't seen this movie yet, I'd highly suggest to see it subbed. I saw it dubbed, which was fine. I'm usually a dubbed guy with anime and other shows, but since this was made in China and the visuals were so great, the mouths moved perfectly with Chinese words, so it kind of bugged me watching. It's like those old Godzilla films, where they're like, but really they're saying, look out, Godzilla's coming, but all you see is, that's the best way I can explain it. So what I loved about this film, 1, the visuals and action. I have never seen a foreign film that had such amazing visuals. And apparently they had over 130 animation studios working on this film. The action is like a mix of Mortal Kombat, Tekken, Street Fighter, anime, and live action martial arts fights. This movie unified those different things I just mentioned perfectly. Now let me ask you this, do you guys ever get adrenaline rushes in movies, like where it's just so cool, you're just like, man, like in Infinity War when Captain America comes out of the shadows of the train station, or Spider-Man where all 3 Spider-Man come together, people are just cheering? Well, there's a few moments where I started to get just a hint of that. That's how awesome the action scenes were. And not to spoil anything, but there's one part where a character goes kind of Super Saiyan. Just like that. And it was glorious. The second thing was the tone of the movie. They had like Looney Tune level comedy and silliness at times, but then they'd get super deep in other moments where there was the action or some trauma characters are going through. And I love that balance. And then we got the music in this movie. I don't know who did it, but there were times it sounded like I was watching Dune. There's this big floating orb container thing in the movie, and when it appears, and it's huge, you just hear, like the Dune sound. I feel like I did pretty good. And this movie didn't just have one finale that you saw coming. It had a finale, and I thought it was the finale, like the big fight, and then another one happened, and then another one happened, and it just kept building bigger and bigger, and I was just sitting there like, yep, all right, this is pretty solid. The only things that I felt were hard about watching this movie, and I'm not even going to say they were dislikes, because it's really on me, was 1, I didn't see ZHA 1, so there are certain things and people they're talking about that I was just definitely lost on. But it's also probably just my lacking of knowledge of the Chinese culture. And number 2, there's a climax point in the middle of the movie that felt like it was supposed to be this big hit, but I didn't really feel anything. And at first I thought this was an issue, until the multiple finales at the end of the movie that covered up all of that. If you've seen this, I want to know what your thoughts are. This movie starts out decent, but it just exponentially gets better throughout. At the very beginning, I was wondering why it was so big, why my friend loved it so much. But like I said, start out here and just whoa! And by the end, I just wanted to scream with enjoyment. I just want to say, I am so thankful I live in an age where the 2 biggest movies of the year so far, ZHA 2 with $2.2 billion, and K-pop Demon Hunters with 290 million streams on Netflix, the most ever, are rooted with anime themes. The action, the humor, the style. There's a time where people that watch anime were seen as weirdos. who didn't have any friends. But now it's becoming the next big thing, and I couldn't be happier. To all my viewers out there, thanks for checking in. And to all my new viewers, if you ever use the restroom or like talking about movies, come back here for more of both.